folks. Today we're going to go over a tutorial about how we're going to edit our long exposure photos. So some of the stuff is just review from our compositional rule edits, but we do have an additional step, which is going to be the introduction of blend mode. So go ahead, get into your bridge. You're going to go ahead and find your find your SD card, of course, and then you're going to make a new folder, which is going to be your long exposure folder. Okay, so then new folder, long exposure. If you didn't do this when you're making your contact sheet, you're going to just do that now. And then you can go ahead. I already have one edit in here. We're going to go ahead and do a different one. So I'm going to go here, open this up, get into here. And then I have a couple photos here that I'm going to go ahead and explore. Alright, and then I can get into here, look through my options for my long exposure, and then I think I'm going to go with this one. So I can just go ahead and double click on that, open that up into Photoshop, and now you're going to do two edits, and I'll show you how to do both. So with your two edits, you are going to do one with a gradient map, so you can go ahead and find that through going down here to your adjustment layers, go to gradient, and then you can go ahead and pick from your options here. That one's kind of interesting. Maybe I'll change it to a 45-degree angle or a negative 45. Okay, I like that better. And then I can go ahead and hit OK. And now, last time what we did with our compositional rules was we just kind of stopped here and then we just changed our opacity. We called it a day. This time we're going to do something that's going to kind of embed this more into the photo. So with my gradient map selected, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to choose a blend mode. And now I'm going to let you kind of pick from which one works best for your photo. Obviously, like this one, darker color, doesn't really work for my photo. It washes out all the details of my face. This one's a little bit too bright. But you're just going to go ahead and explore. Overlay's kind of nice. This one's a little bit interesting because I still get the details, but the colors, like I like the color palette. Oh, again, some cool ones. So you're just going to go ahead and explore some different options here. And of course you can make multiple copies. Like if you want to go ahead and change these and save them as different files, if you like different results, that's totally fine. I think I really like difference. And then of course, if it's a little bit too harsh on yours, you can go ahead and like change the opacity on top of that. And then I think that kind of gives me a good finished product on this one. Okay. So then I'm going to go ahead, just like always, I'm going to save my PSD, make sure I'm saving it to my long exposure. In my long exposure folder, I could also make a new folder, for my final edits. But I'm going to go ahead and call this one, long exposure 1. All right, and then I can go ahead and save that there. And then as always, that was a PSD. I need to now export it, so export as. Again, make sure I'm in the right place, not my LST. I need to go to my long exposure, wherever the heck that is. All right, here. Save. Then I can go into bridge. In this folder, I'm going to make a new folder where I'm going to say, you can just say LE edits. All right, and then I can go ahead and select these ones, drag them into there. And then I'm going to go ahead and pick a new photo. These ones are a little bit blurry. I'm going to go ahead and select this photo here. I could pick a better photo than this, but this is the one I'm going to go with. All right, so for your second edit, hopefully you have a better photo than this one that I have, because this one was a little bit out of focus, but I just need a different photo to show you your second. So what you are gonna do is you're gonna go back to your adjustment layers. You're gonna now pick solid color. So again, review, we've already done this in our last. So I'm gonna go ahead, maybe pick like a cool blue, since my last one was like so red. I'll go with like a cooler color on this one. I'm gonna go ahead and hit OK on this nice, maybe I'll make it more of a light blue. So I'm gonna go ahead and go here, and then same thing. Gonna open up my blend modes, and then I'm gonna go ahead and overlap a photo. Now I think this one's kind of interesting, the color burn. I wanna go ahead and explore my other options real quick. Of course, again, darker color, it's burning out all my details. And as I kind of scroll through, I think that first top one, difference is kind of nice again. You get some good like complementary colors with that one, but don't want to do it again. That one's kind of interesting. I like the like rainbow effect with the high saturation. Oof. So that one or this one. I feel like this one is kind of a little bit more of a moodier type of vibe, so I'm going to go ahead and go with this one. I'm going to go ahead and mess with the opacity just to kind of see what I like. I kind of like the blue, so I think I'm going to stick with a higher opacity, like 80. Even, I mean, 100 wasn't even bad. You can look at it. Yeah, we can just leave it at 100. And then that's all you're doing for this photo as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same things. Save as, this can be my LE2. Make sure I'm saving that. I can now put it in my LE edits photo folder. So I'm gonna go ahead and save that there. And then as always, that was my PSD. Now I need to export as a JPEG. All right, and just make sure that that's going in the right place. You are going to only edit 2 of your 10 photos, technically 15, but pick your 2 best photos from your long exposure and then go ahead and edit those in this folder. Then you should have 4 files, which are your LE1, JPEG and PSD, LE2, JPEG and PSD. So let's go ahead, finish up this save, and then that should be that. All right. All right, and that is it for long exposure, gradient filter / color filter, and blend modes.